Hey, 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 welcome back, beautiful people. So today, we're going to draw us a simple in the room, baby, or in the box drawing, right? Now, let me say this. You're still going to have an eye level line or horizon line, even though we're in a classroom or in some kind of room, your living room, okay? So let's draw that first. And for simplicity's sake, we're taking it across the center again. And it's horizontal. It is parallel with the edges of your paper, the bottom and the top. I've got my paper turned horizontal here also. There is my VP, baby. Not your vice president, but the vanishing point. So now we have a starting point. And I just said this is going to be inside of a room. A good reference for this would be The Last Supper, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. But there are many one-point perspective room drawings out there. Just Google some. So how I start out is I'll start out by making the back wall first. I use that then throughout. So this is going to be a room, and I don't know what kind of room, but I'm going to keep these. It's going to be, let's make it more horizontal. Of course, not square, not a square, because usually, not always, and that can be, I believe that rooms feel better when they're bigger, wider than they are tall, okay? So that's what I mean by that. So now we have the vanishing point, we have the corners of our room, and we're going to take this vanishing point and we're going to kind of do the reverse of what some of the stuff we've been doing. Line it up with the corner of our room, and we're going to bring it out this time. We're going to do the same thing for this corner. It's not to the corner of your paper, but it's corner of the vanishing point and that corner out. And so if you're looking at this, see the corner of my paper? Here. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Now, The Last Supper, Leonardo has a technique like this, or he used a technique like this. The thing is, the room is actually much closer to this back wall, or your view is. Alrighty, so like Leonardo da Vinci's room would have been closer here, or the back wall would have been. So now, a lot of people would just take and do this right here. They'll line it up there with the corner of their paper, but look where their ruler ends up at. It ends up on that vanishing point, but not or it ends up on the horizon line, but not at the vanishing point. So you got to line up the vanishing point with this corner, and then you pull it off the page. Now, look at that. It doesn't look like it's all symmetrical, but it doesn't have to be, but it looks correct, and here's why. Your point of view is here. You're kind of standing off center. You know, if we were going to measure this and find the exact center of that page, it might be here. That would change your corners here, so it's okay. Just give it a try. So here's our room. Let's talk about a door and a window, and then we'll go on. So I'm going to try to base all my measurements on this back wall because if I start here, I have nothing to compare it to, or here, or here, or here. But with the back wall, I do, because I've been inside some rooms in my life, right? Not padded ones. Anyhow, this back wall, average height of a wall is 8 foot, right around 8 foot. Average height of a door is 7 foot, right? So that we know it's about a foot under. So when you're gauging a door, let's say we have a door on this back wall. Let's go, and I'm gonna put it. No, I'm not gonna do the center. It's just too much trouble. So I'm gonna go right here's my door. It's almost up to there. I could take and measure 8, divide that in 8 sections. I'm not going to. And in an earlier video, we talked about how a door is at least half as wide as it is tall, or almost half as wide as it is tall most of the time. So we think about cutting that in half, maybe it'll be this wide. So you see how I'm drawing these lines vertically? They're parallel with the edges of your paper because you want it to look like it's standing up. Now I'm going to do the top. Here's our door, right? And compared to that space, it's okay. Now let's put us a window here or something on the wall. Let's do a window. We talked about before in another video how windows are not higher than the door in a one floor area. So we're going to go straight across. I'm going to draw this line straight across for another reason in a second. There's going to be the top of our window, and let's say we're just going to have a simple window, okay? I'm going to come about the same distance away from the wall as I did over here, and my window can't go all the way to the floor, but we can make it a bigger window than just let's go about as wide as that door, maybe. Yeah. Now let's pull that line up to right there. So we can make this line a little darker. Boom. There we go. Yeah, big hairy deal. That one's right. So what else do we got to do here? There's our eye level line, our vanishing point. So everything that's above this, we can see the bottom of. Everything that's below this, we can see the top of. In this room, let's go ahead and put us another door over here on this wall, just so you know how to do it, okay? Now, we could go over here and I could draw a door like this. There we go. What's wrong with that door? Well, it's falling over. First off, it doesn't look right. And or you do a door like this. Well, that's still not right. Here's why. Because if this door is that tall back there, why is this door really short? Or you could take and trace that same door and put it right there. It would not look right. Here's how we get that. See this line that we drew across there? You're going to line that up with the vanishing point, the corner of that, the edge. Line it up with the vanishing point, and you draw a nice light line right through there. That's where the top of your door is going to be, right? The bottom will be right here because obviously you're going to go out or it's going to be along that wall. So I'm going to just decide where I want my door. Maybe I'll do my door farther back here. Boom. Maybe there's an exit or maybe there's a hallway or something. Keeping this in mind that it's a door is twice as tall as it is wide. I'm going to try to gauge that. Even though perspective, it will make it look more narrow. So I'm going to move it back here a little bit. Keeping this parallel with that. Now, if you really want to make this look like it goes through there, erase this line. Look at there. So now, but what happens back in there? Let's say that there's a wall there. Just go right here. And we're going to go straight across. Straight across. Automatically. Well, there's a wall there, but your walls usually have a little part there above the door, so you wouldn't see the top of the ceiling there necessarily. So with that, I'm okay with that if you're okay with it. Let's put a window here, and we will move on to some furniture. So we're going to go straight across from the bottom of the window over here to know how big to put the window up here, because windows are roughly the same size. Usually you will buy windows that match, right? Now, we're going to line that up with a vanishing point. And so right here is going to be the bottom of our window. That's going to be the top. Same thing as with the doors. We're going to keep them all vertical. And what I like to do is I just maybe guess at where to have that window. It's going to start there. Let's make him a little bit wider. Remember, it's going to be parallel. I kind of messed up, I believe, in the parallel stuff. I'm going to erase that. I'm going to erase that. I can erase this. Erase this. Now, this is when I'm going to use that big pink pearl eraser. I really like the pink pearl. Maybe. Wouldn't it really be awesome if maybe Johnny Depp would do a commercial for the pink pearl eraser? Arr, pink pearl, baby. So, there's our door window. Now, on this wall, we're going to do a little bit of furniture here. How we doing video-wise? We're okay. Or maybe we can do some furniture here. Something simple. Let's say we just have a very square-like chair, or let's go with a shelf. Again, we're going to compare everything to that wall. Let's say you have a shelf that, maybe a bookshelf, is probably about as tall, not quite as tall as the door, okay? So we're going to just come straight over. It's going to be that tall. But we don't want it back there in the corner. We're going to move it up here somewhere. So you see what I did? I just come across there, straight across. That's how tall I want the bookshelf. And if you're following along, you know that I'm going to match that with that or hook that up. Well, that's going to be where our bookshelf sits against the wall. But how deep or how thick is that bookshelf going to be? Well, again, I'm going to reference this back wall. I know that if it's holding books and if this is a normal or compared to a, I don't want it more than that thick maybe. Because if that's roughly a foot. So, and that bookshelf is going to, so this is going to be the end of it. It's going to sit right like this. We kind of have to think, you know, see-through right now. So that's going to be the front and the bottom front. That's the top front. Now we'll look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through here, line up the bottom with that. Whoa. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, the top with that. Whoa. Now you're going to say, well, that's very narrow. It is because it's a little closer to your eye level line. This one's thick, but you're really not even going to see that. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to say my bookshelf. Let's just start it right here. And I got to go from this top line to the bottom line. Here's why. That's not parallel. Because see, that's going to work. This bookshelf has a depth about it. So I'm going to go horizontally here. And then I'm going to go like this, horizontally, to give me that back wall. See how that's like that? And then this should be, oh, look at there. I'm a little off on this. I'm a little off. Maybe right here is where I went off. Yes. Looking right there. Yep. So, I said I was going to make the bookshelf up here, but I'm actually going to move it right back there. And I'm going to use the big pink pearl here to clean up my mess somewhat. The pink pearl, baby. And I'm not erasing that line because that's the corner of our room. Now, we have a bookshelf that looks like it doesn't have books in it yet, or shelves. So let's not let that go on forever back through there, but let's do it a couple of three. If you think about book width, let's go about maybe here. Now, if that shelf is empty, you're going to see inside of it. It's going to be like this. And the same thing for the top. It's going to be horizontal like this. And then we're going to do a horizontal line. Got a lot of erasing here. And I'm not following my rule. Draw it light till you get it right, right? That's what I've messed up on here. I've not been following my own rule. So, now, here's our shell for the bookcase. and it's a little messy. Let's put a couple shelves in there. If we want them evenly spaced, then measure this space here. They're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roughly, right? So let's do 2, 2, 2, and then we'll worry about that one later. So now we're going to go from here to the vanishing point. Boom. And from there to the vanishing point. Boom. And from there to the vanishing point. Boom. And that would give us placement of our shelves. And then you would technically have a little, and that one we can't see, but we'd come from there, vanishing point to that little shelf, there, do the same. Now let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Here, here, and let's just, I don't want to run. Maybe that shelf is just up off the floor, so you can sweep under it, get all the, so the dust bunnies don't get back under there. And so then you would put your books in there. Very simple, right? Let's do one piece of furniture. We're running on 20 minutes here. Let's do, for the heck of it, let's just draw. Let's worry about doing ceiling tile and ceiling floor. So evenly break this up. If it's a flooring that you're doing, go right along this back wall. We're going to do big wide boards to make it simple. Okay, every centimeter, basically. Line this up with the vanishing point. Pull this, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you get it? And you're going to do the same thing up here for the ceiling. Maybe it's wider ceiling. And actually, you know, a lot of times you don't have any kind of texture on the ceiling or whatever, but I'm going to do every 2 here. Actually, let's do 2.5 and just kind of eyeball that. I want to show you, so you're going to line that up with the vanishing point. Bring it off the page. Line this one up, bring it off the page. Now, if this is some kind of ceiling tile, or chances are it's symmetrical and one half looks like the other half. So I'm going to go straight across here. Boom. And I'm going to come a little wider here. Maybe there, and I'm going to leave that one like that. But do you see how it looks like it's getting farther away all the time? This flooring, I'm going to finish this one off. I'll come back and finish this video in another video or do some more stuff to it. So here's our floor. Oh, kind of, I messed up there. But I'm gonna, there we go. Now, I want you to see something here. If this is large flooring planks, most of the time when you're doing flooring, you don't want to end and start on the same spot. So I'm going to go horizontally here with some boardage. And I'm going to go, here's one. Maybe I'll go back and put one here. Maybe I'll come forward and put one on every other board or so, though, you know. There. Maybe there's, notice I'm keeping them horizontal when I end these things. Maybe there's one here. And as I come closer, this one's going to need one somewhere or another. Maybe it needs one here. Don't want to forget about him. Here. And as I come up, maybe it's time for another one here. And then let's do, I forgot this board over here. I think he needs one right under that bookshelf for some reason. And maybe. So there's our floor and our ceiling. Our walls, one piece of furniture, but it's a simple room layout. Thank you for watching. We'll come back to this or one similar to it. Have a good day. Give this a try and rewind the video as much as you need to. Again, it's 1 point perspective in a room. Good day.